guys. So it's Tuesday morning. Yesterday did a bunch of stuff, little things that aren't actually on my list. Finishing off things that I started. I've got a few more of those to do. I'm not going to get into it. It's nothing major. We'll cover it after. What I want to do today, well, yeah, yesterday I also finally got that Datsun door painted, so it can go and get the hell out of here. Today I'm going to start on and hopefully finish the boots for the shifter and the e-brake lever. My material came in on, was it yesterday? Sunday. No, it came in Sunday. So yeah, I've got that to do, and I've been thinking about this for a bit, and I think I was going in the wrong direction. I may have come up with something a little simpler and easier and quicker. We'll see. So anyway, plenty to do. So let's just get to it, man. All right. So originally, what I was thinking was I'd measure the perimeter here, cut out a piece that long by 10 inches, half of this material. So that would be, 9.5 times 2 is 19, and 8.5 times 2 is 17. That's 36 inches by 10. Well, that's a lot of freaking material for a little shifter boot. So then I thought, well, what if I cut, 4 wedges? So 9.5, taper it up, cut 4 of them all the way. That would work for sure, but it's a lot of freaking stitching. I'd have to stitch all 4 corners, plus the top where I have a drawstring. So then I'm looking at this and I thought, well, what if I just do this? Something like so. I want to bring it up enough. Then I just cut one line here, kind of wedge it a little bit, bring it together so you take some of these wrinkles out. Once it's screwed down to the floor, who cares? This way here, if I screw it up, well, I've got 4 or 5 more cracks at it. So, I don't know, I'm thinking this might be the easiest way. I'll just cut it a little bit oversized, want it a little bit higher than that, something like so. I don't know, what do you think? I think that might be the way to go. 7 inches high. Yeah, that's more than enough. I could even bring it up a little higher. Just snip it here. Cut it there. I know it's a little bit lumpy and stuff, but I could probably cut some little pieces out here and there where I have to bring it in. I'm going to glue it to the underside of the trim. Actually, I'd probably cut it down here. All right, I'm going to try that first. We'll see what happens. I might end up doing the 4 wedges anyway and seaming at the corners. We'll see how it goes. All right, well, this might turn out to be a disaster, but whatever. You don't know until you try. Thought chalk would leave a mark on there. Oh, I know. Just leave it a little oversized. Always trim off, can't add on. At this point, I'm just guessing. Okay, so this is starting to look like I'm attacking it like a pack of mad beavers here. what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold this over at the top, give a spot for my shoelace or drawstring or whatever you want to call it. It's not going to be easy, I can tell already. I think I'm making work for myself for nothing. I'm going to get some pins together and try and pin everything together and locate some thread and needles and all that kind of stuff. We're kind of sort of maybe getting there. I don't know. Okay, so after stabbing myself several hundred times, I asked myself the question, hey Dan, can you sew? And the answer to that is absolutely not. I'm freaking terrible at it. But anyway, I got my drawstring in. I'm sewing up the top here. Now, if it was anything else than just a shifter boot, I wouldn't even bother. I mean, get somebody to do it. I'm just being stubborn, really. Now, I got to try and figure out how I'm going to narrow this up at the top. So I have kind of that cone effect, you know. So you want to taper it up this way. Leave myself a little short, I guess. I'm thinking. I don't really know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, to be honest with you. But I'm going to keep on doing it. We'll see what the end result is. Like I say, it's not a, it's not a tuxedo for the king or anything. It's a shifter boot. So it is what it is. So I'll just keep on plugging away and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here's where I'm at so far. I've got this pinned. I had to cut it at an angle, and I had to cut back where it's where my laces are. I'm gonna have to cut back a little bit more. I was using this, my extension, as the simulated shifter, and it wasn't going tight enough around it. This is about the same diameter as the shifter is, so I just got to cut it back a little bit, and I'll stitch this up here where I pinned it. And but other than that, I mean, it is what it is. So I don't need a ton of movement back and forth, so that's a good thing. I've got just enough material all the way around. I'll just trim it all after. And yeah, center this up a little bit better over here maybe. But I'm going to finish stitching that up. I'll cut back the thing, see how everything goes together. I'll tie it up around the that extension, and we'll see what it looks like. Sewing's not for me, folks. That's the bottom line. All right, so that's it. I guess I could shorten the lace a little bit, but whatever. Does the job, hides all the mechanical crap that's down there. Because it is kind of lumpy looking. Plus, you eliminate the exhaust fumes coming up through, if there are any. They want to see a boot on that, seal it up, so there it is, one boot. So I got to do the same thing again now for the e-brake lever. That one's going to be a little simpler, I think. It's much smaller around the base, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I went through almost a whole spool of thread doing that first one. I mean, it's my fancy schmancy stitching, but yeah, I'm definitely not a tailor, I can tell you that. I might be a lot of things. Tailor isn't one of them. So, but I mean, it does the job and it'll be fine, and it is what it is. It's nothing too impactful, let's say, overall. But there's plenty of room for movement back and forth. Not that it moves much anyway. This is going to come up to right here. So, as you move it moves a little bit, but not a ton. And there's plenty of slack there, so should be fine. I might even place it in the truck just to see how it looks. Won't be able to fasten it down just yet, but I'll get a rough idea anyway. Right, so that's her. Yeah, I'm going to trim off the excess with a razor blade after it's fastened down. It's not bad. I mean, I've seen uglier stuff, I think. But anyway, it is what it is. I mean, it's a shifter boot here. It's, you know, it's not the end of days. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. There's plenty of room for it to move around, and you know, I'll have to make adjustments as I put it in place, but can't really do that until I'm ready to fasten both the whole plate down. So that means I have to get the other boot done for the e-brake lever. So I'll go ahead and get after that. Um, Altogether, you know, it took me about 3 hours, which is a bit much. But when you don't know what the hell you're doing, things take longer. And said I've never claimed to be a tailor, and the proof is in the pudding right there. But I think it'll pass. It functions. It does what it's supposed to do. Um, you know, it's not just to hide all the mechanical crap down there. It's also to block off any exhaust fumes that could come up. They don't want to see any openings in the floor, and of course, the linkage goes through the floor. So it serves two purposes really: cosmetic and functional. So it's done. It's in. I might not win best upholstery with it, but it does the job, and it'll be fine. I got to go ahead and make up the other one. The other one might be a little bit more complicated. It's smaller, but there's more movement. So it's got to have some give. So I'm gonna have to think about that one just a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead, get after it. I think that's about all the time I'm gonna have for in this video anyhow. In the next one, I'll probably have the other boot done and it all fastened in and everything else. My buddy wants to come by and stretch the carpet a little bit more too when we put them in. So yeah, it's going to be a multi-purpose or multi-people job. Let's put it that way. Anyway, that's it for that. There you go, my first foray into the magical world of sewing. Yeah, I'm not very good at it. Something I would have to practice, I'm pretty sure, if I wanted to. I don't think I do. You know, my dad was a hell of a upholsterer. His 38 coupe that he had, he decided he was going to sew his own interior because he didn't want to pay the money. So he went out and bought himself an industrial sewing machine and sewed up the interior. That was in 1978, and that car is still around. That went down south now. My brother had it for a while, just a couple of years ago, and that same interior is still in it and looks mint, looks brand new. So he was good at it. It's just one thing that I've never has come to me. I just don't get it. You know, that's all. Whatever. I can do all kinds of things, but I'm not a tailor. That's for damn sure. But anyway, does the job and it'll be fine. Yeah, it's supposed to warm up in a couple days, so I also want to prep the tailgate, get ready for paint, because I've got a small window of maybe 2 days that I can paint. That's coming up Friday, Saturday, so I got to get that done as well. And I got my bumper bolts are in. I just got the call a little while ago. I did decide to go with the stainless only because it's quicker, and I don't have to spend the time to paint them and prime them and all that stuff. So stainless it is. Also, a couple of sealed beam headlights. I tracked down where there are some in stock, so I'm going to pick them up tomorrow. And a friend of mine had called me after seeing the last video, and he has a braided oil pressure line, steel braided. So I'm going to pick that up as well. That saves me a bunch of other problems and hassles. So that's cool. What else? Yeah, just a bunch of little things. I'm just going to keep on knocking them off, man. That's it. So hopefully have this thing running by like Friday, Saturday. That's what I'm gearing up for. I've got a buddy coming in for a couple of days. He's camera shy, so you won't be seeing him, but he's a hell of a good mechanic, and he's going to help me out with a couple little things just to speed up the process. And yeah, so all good. So if you like the content, please subscribe. I'm now over 3,000 thanks to you guys, and truly do appreciate it. Like the video, tell your buddies, um, leave comments. I get credit for all those things from YouTube. And if you are so inclined, you can support the channel. Just hit the little menu, little circle with 3 dots in it, right beside, just to the right of the share button, and go up to where it says thanks, and you can support the channel that way. So yeah, I guess that's about it for now. So if you're not doing anything else, get in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.